Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast live with me, your host, Owen James. This is, it feels like ages since we went live, guys. A lot of reasons for that, all very personal. I don't particularly want to talk about them tonight, but we are here tonight to talk about a few updates coming out of the club as regards Ridvan Yilmaz and his injury, and also regards John Lundstrom and his contract. We're also going to talk a little bit about those post international break fixtures, which are all pre-split, and what team we could possibly see for that first game against Hibernian. It is the 23rd of March, guys. We are on a Saturday, and there is no real football to speak of. Obviously, Scotland lost 4-0 yesterday to Holland. England look to be involved in a really exciting 0-0 draw with Brazil. So, look, it is what it is. It's international week. I hate international football. You know my feelings on international football. It's a ball ache. It's an absolute ball ache. Good evening to Janet. Good evening, Bears. Evening, Owen. Evening, Janet. How are you today? Good to have you here. And reminder, all the places you can find us on social media are down at the bottom, scrolling along. It's a reminder as well that on this channel, we don't charge you for content. We don't charge it. All right, I'm good, RFC 56. How are you doing tonight? Geordie, if we end up losing Tav to the Saudis for 7 million, then something's wrong. Interesting thoughts there, Geordie. I haven't actually seen any Tav to the Saudis links recently, which is interesting. As far as international football goes, well, you know I don't like it, but John Suter was a sub for Scotland on Friday. I've also seen as well Abi Matondo was an unused sub for Wales in their 4-1 victory over Finland as they progress obviously to play Poland on Tuesday. So, guys, the rest of the players, I haven't seen a great deal of information about them. I don't know. I still don't know to this day who did Mo Diamande choose. Now, apparently, after that Ghana call-up that he had, he was given an Ivory Coast under-23 call-up as well. So I'd love to know, where is Mo Diamande? Where is he playing? Is he playing for the Ivory Coast, or is he playing for Ghana? Where is he at this moment in time? Be interesting to find out if he's off with the Ivory Coast, or is he off with Ghana? That'll be an interesting question to resolve. Can't see anything at this moment in time on the old Google sphere or Twitter sphere. Lots of interesting stuff about there. But it does, like I said, it is interesting that he was called up by 2, wasn't it? But obviously a decision to make. Hopefully he chose the Ivory Coast, obviously, with that being the nation of his birth. Well, guys, it's been a long time since we spoke, obviously. So if you can, obviously, get a comment, get your comments in, get your questions in, get everything in you can, guys. It's all about you tonight and me talking all over different things to do with Rangers tonight. James Muir says in the live chat, if Ridvan's injury going to be a regular thing going forward? I hope not, buddy. I hope not. I'm going to talk about the Ridvan situation in a moment. And Mal Duke says, hello, mate. How are you doing today? Please smash that like, sub to the channel. Right, guys. So Ridvan Yilmaz. Now, Ridvan Yilmaz, obviously, he's anxious to go and play for Turkey in Euro 2024. John Park is here as well. John and Sonclair Berman, good to see you too, buddy. And John, good to see you as well. So obviously Ridvan is away with Turkey at the moment. He came off injured after only 27 minutes of their friendly game with Hungary. This is another thing that bloody irks me, is getting injured in friendly games. That pisses me off a treat, because it's meaningless games, guys. You can kind of see with the Welsh boys, that it has a meaning. They want to qualify for Euro 2024. They want to be, involved in the finals in Germany. So, you kind of get that and understand why they're away. The rest of it bloody irks me. These friendly games and getting injured in friendly games is a fucking pain in the arse. It really is. Andy Smith, evening, buddy. How you doing? So, obviously, Ridvan Yilmaz played for Turkey. Like I said, anxious to get back in the Turkey squad. Anxious to get back in Vincenzo Montella. Those of you who remember your Gazzetta Football Italia days, do you remember Vincenzo Montella turning out for Sampdoria amongst the teams? Well, he is now the Turkish national team manager, which is an interesting one at the age of 49 now. Bloody hell, he's getting old. He's managed loads of teams. He's managed Adana Demirspor, Fiorentina, Sevilla, Milan, Sampdoria, Fiorentina, Catania, Roma. He's definitely been around the houses, but now he is the national team manager of Turkey. And good evening, James. No, you haven't, buddy. Don't worry. What about Dessa scoring a penalty using Tav's run up? There we go. I haven't followed it. I've looked, like I said, Geordie, I've looked a little bit. I looked a little bit into the Wales game the other day because I knew Rabbi was on the bench. I looked, and I'm obviously just keeping it. I kept an eye on keeping an eye on the England game, and obviously I was aware of the Scotland game only because it flashed up on my Twitter feed. That's how I found out about that one. I'm not really paying a great deal of attention to international football. John Park remembers watching Channel 4. Yeah, I remember watching the Italian football on Channel 4 in the 90s, lol. Gazzetta Football Italia, Golazzo, which we all thought was Go Lazio, but it wasn't. It was Golazzo, which means goal in Italian. Now, old Ridvan Yilmaz was off representing his country over the last few days, and he was withdrawn from the game after 27 minutes with a thigh injury. Yes, that's right, with a thigh injury. So just a reminder, guys, the thigh injury is exactly what Seema suffered as well. So obviously the hope is that the injury to Ridvan is not as serious as the injury to Abdallah Seema. If it is, then you can quite categorically say that he is gone for the season. Now, what do we know? Vincenzo Montella is playing his cards very close to his chest about whether or not Ridvan will be taken out of the squad. Talking after the game, he said that the injury needed to be evaluated, the injury needed to be looked at, that the injury needed to be checked up on. He was not giving any further comment other than that. It does seem, however, that it was a thigh muscle injury for Ridvan, which obviously is a massive, huge shame because of the fact that Ridvan has been playing so well for Rangers of late. He's probably been one of our best players. If it is a thigh tear, and it's possible that it could be, then he's done for the season. He really is genuinely done for the season. If it is a thigh muscle tear, he is done for the season. So the hope is that it's not a tear. If it's just a strain, he could be a couple of weeks, he could be back. If it's a tear, that's it, gone for the season. So that is a real worry for me. Ziggs the Wolf says, evening, Owen. Evening, all right. How you doing, buddy? Ewan Minton, evening, Owen, and All Nation Loyal. Evening to you and as well. Guys, yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge news, isn't it? I mean, Ridvan Yilmaz has been a fundamental part of this team, since Christmas. And, since he's got a real run in the team and since he's kind of come back from that injury, those injuries that he's had, he's been a fantastic servant. And, you've looked at what Bourne has provided. You've looked at, what he's provided left back, that Kilmarnock game when instead of dossing around with the ball in the bottom corner, he just needs to bloody get rid of it. He doesn't get rid of it. They get a corner. They then get a penalty. It can all be traced back to Borna's indecisiveness, and he was hooked at half time in that game. And my feelings on Borna. Borna played well during season 55. For the last 2 years, Borna has been shit. He really has been shit. So it's time that he went. He really, it's time that he went. Villainous Cosplay says, "What do you think of the TAV Saudi links?" These have come up multiple times, guys. I'll get to those. Just remind me, I will get to those. I really have been cursed with injuries for several years now. Can't believe it's our best players always getting injured. John, exactly. I mean, obviously, Cadwell was out injured. Danio's out injured. Cortez is out injured. Seema's out injured. Going into that Celtic game on the 7th, we could be missing a lot of talent from that team. We could be missing Cortez, Seema, Ridvan, Danio. That's a lot of talent missing. And obviously, I don't know what the latest is on Danio. Hopefully, he's back in training. Obviously, we're not getting any updates from the training ground at the moment because of the international break. So it'd be interesting to see what is going on with him. But obviously, this injury to Ridvan is critical. It really is. It's what options now do we have at left back? What can we do with the left back slot? That's the question. If he is missing now, it looks likely that he will be out for the game against Hibs, which is our first game back on the 30th. These are the options. This for me is the options that we have going forward. Barisic, Fraser, Yefeko, Sterling, and Davis. These are the options that we have. Yilmaz is a big loss. Let's hope for the best and get him back ASAP. Like I said, RFC 56, if it's a strain, it could be a couple of weeks. He could be back. If it's a tear, he's gone for the rest of the season. That's going to need operating on. And as soon as that's the situation, it is gone. More talk on Tav, which we will get to. And Six the Wolf is right. Every single window, Tav seems to be off to Saudi. So these are the options as far as I see it. Now, probably the most predictable option is to put Borna Barisic back into the team at left back. That fills me full of fear. He is not a good player. He is not the player he used to be. He is slower. He's too negative. His crossing is not as accurate as it used to be. He hits the first man or smashes it over everybody's head. He's very much a poor player. So we do, Ziggs. We need the strongest 11 for that game. But what is the strongest 11? So Barisic, look, realistically, if Ridvan is missing, Philippe Clement's probably going to go with Borna Barisic. That's just what we've got to kind of face up to. Borna has let us down on several occasions since that 55 season. I mean, you take, for example, the sitting on the floor at Parkhead, the injury against PSV Eindhoven. There's a lot of things going on with him. Yeah, Borna is done. He is done. Absolutely done. He was hooked at half-time in that Killy game. He was absolutely shocking. If he's out for the season, though, getting away from it, it's a massive loss. Absolutely, RFC 50. It's a huge loss. Now, another option, obviously, is Robbie Fraser, who's the B team captain. I thought Robbie looked good in that friendly against was it Hoffenheim? Who did they play in that friendly? Hertha Berlin. He did well there. He's been getting some decent reviews. He can play left back. John Lee Yefeko is another one who could possibly play at that left back spot. Dujon Sterling is, but it looks like Dujon Sterling is out injured. I don't know how long for. It's another hamstring injury. So again, you're looking at a good 4 weeks for that. So I don't think he's going to be back. Ben Davis, but Ben Davis hasn't actually played there. So that is another issue. He hasn't done it for Rangers. I know he's done it at points in his career, but never for Rangers. So that's the choices. It's a bit of a slim pickings, isn't it? The issue is Borna can't defend and doesn't do any better going forward. Correct, John? Evangelist Cosplay says, if they come in above the 10 mil mark, I'd think about it. Depends on what we win this year. I'd love him to finish at the club, but he's not getting in. He's talking about Tav, obviously. I hope Danilo is back for the old firm. Me too, Ziggs the Wolf. So, what is that situation? I think, probably if you look at it, if you examine it, if you sit down and look at Philippe Clement's past track record, you look at the injury history, with the fact that Sterling is out, Davis hasn't played there before, you're probably going to find a situation where Borna will start in that Hibernian game. And if Ridvan's not fit and he's out for the rest of the season, then he probably will start the Celtic game, which therefore fills me with absolute dread up against their wingers. He really does scare the shit out of me playing. Really worries me. Really, really worries me. It really does. I don't know what you think, guys, but, look, I'd actually give Robbie Fraser a go out there against Hibernian. I really would. Genuinely, against Hibs, I would give him a run out because at the end of the day, what have we got to lose? Because Borna's going to let you down anyway. Dujon's not fit. Ben Davis has not played there in years. Borna's a bag of shite. Ridvan is injured and probably could be for the season. So where is the where is the issue there? So let's look at it now. So for me, the strongest possible team we can name there, Tav at right back, Goldson, Suter. I think he's going to go with those two. I know Leon Balogun's fit, but those two have been playing very, very well indeed. So that is, for me, is probably going to be what they go with. I would go, like I said, I would go with Robbie Fraser at left back. I don't think you've got a lot to lose. I really don't, because of the fact that, like I said, Borna Barisic is a bit of a joke. And for me, he is absolutely done. So yeah, I'd give Robbie Fraser a run out. John Lundstrom and Mo Diamande, that's probably the strongest two we've got there, with the fact that yet again, old Ryan Jack is injured again. Now, I don't rate our options at right wing. Ross McCausland is not fit. Robbie Matondo is just not up to it. He's better on the left. So I'm going to give Tom Lawrence a run out on the right-hand side. He has played there before. And I'd go with Campbell in the 10 role. I'd go with Silva on the left-hand side. And I want to see Kamar Roof start, against Celtic and against Hibs, in games that we need to win, in games that we need to be successful in games that we need to get the 3 points in. I want someone up there who I know I can rely on to put the ball in the back of the net. So that is the man for me. That really is the man for me. We've got Caleb says in the live chat, good evening, Owen. I'm watching the Rangers Hibs game next week in Spain. Fabulous. Be a lot warmer than it is here, buddy. It really will. Cool. I will be live streaming that game, guys. Just a reminder, there will be a live stream of that game here on the channel. Please come and join me for that. Season is it's over, folks, says Stuza. I hope not. Big call I'm picking Fraser, but I'm for giving the youngsters a chance, but think Clement will probably get. I agree, RC. If he thinks, like I said, it's just what I'd like to see. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd even rather see Yefeko given an opportunity to play there than Borna. I don't think it'll happen. Can Diamande in an emergency play at left back and use both feet? He could. James, that's a decent shout. Despite the injuries, we still have a squad good enough to win the title, I reckon. I hope so, John. I certainly hope so. I really do hope so. 100% hope so, that we've got a squad that's capable of going through now to the end of the season and getting that title under wraps. I mean, this Celtic team is shit. They really are. I wouldn't even put Silver at left back ahead of Borna. Me too, son. I'd put anywhere. I'd put my mum there. Janet McFarlane, good evening, everyone. Absolutely good evening. Good evening. Cosplay says we're in for an interesting. We are in for a fascinating summer. We really are. I think, give Philippe Clement his credit. I think he will go after the players he wants, and if it is a case that, the players that he signed this window just gone, any sort of indication, then, we're going to have some young, exciting, talented players come through. You look at the players who brought in this last window: Silva, young lad; Diamande, young and up-and-coming, promising; Cortez, another one. Absolutely. One good defender left until Yilmaz is back, to Stephen Fay. Agreed. Balogun or John Suter at left back. John Suter's not left-footed, though, Caleb. That's the only worry there. And I can't see Balogun doing it. As to everyone's thoughts of Wolves looking for 15 million for Silva, Geordie, apparently there's absolutely no truth in it whatsoever. Evening, lads. Evening. Apparently they want as close to 35 million as possible. So the 15 million is a bit of paper talk and paper speculation, buddy. Absolutely, we're all sick to death of these injuries. Now, one player who has given an interview to Spanish media is Yanis Hadji. Now, Yanis obviously is on loan at Alaves out in Spain. Now, he hasn't had the best of loan spells and hasn't massively impressed. Janet says she'd take Silva in a minute. Still a lot of money. It is a huge amount of money. It is a massive amount of money. Is it 15 million? Especially for a club like ours that hasn't got a great deal of money. Playing the hand we are dealt, never count this Rangers team down and out. I believe we can go the distance and get over the final. We early got on the old firm. I think we can bag the win. I absolutely think so too, Ziggs the Wolf. I think we do need an early goal, though. I think the more confidence they get, the more the more confidence they get, the more they will grow into the game. And we know that we've got a bit of a mental block when it comes to playing them. So hopefully, we can overcome them. I thought he was left-footed or maybe a back three. That's a possibility, a back three, but will he change system? I don't know. No other club would pay that amount. We shouldn't either, says Jim Cunningham. I think that's in reference to Silva. So Yanis Hadji has given an interview to Spanish media, and he was asked about whether he's happy in Spain and whether he could see himself staying in Spain. That's what he was asked by Spanish media. Time to bring Yefeko back into starting level. David, I'd love to see him. I'd love to see John Lee Yefeko given a chance. I really would. I think he's a good player. I think he's Calvin Bassey 2.0. I'd love to see him given the opportunity. I don't think he will, but I would certainly love to see him given the chance. Goodbye 2 or 3 with Silver's money not worth it. Spend it on one player, says Villainous Cosplay. I suppose that is the truth of the matter. Stephen says, if Yilmaz is out for the season, we are fucked. Absolutely. Yefeko, that's an interesting shout. And all, says RFC 56. Like I said, I would love to see Yefeko get a chance. I don't think he will, but hey, that's just my thinking. Okay, so let's have a look. This is what Yanis Hadji said in response to being asked about staying in Spain and whether he wanted to be whether he was happy in Spain. He says, "Yes, I feel that this is the league," in reference to La Liga, which I can be most successful and in which I can bring out all my qualities. And it is the league that I have followed since I was a child, and it's always my dream to be here. I'm here now. And I want to be here for a long time. Yes, it is where I want to be. it is the football in which that I want to grow. It's the football that I believe I can unlock the best version of me. I've only been here 6 to 7 months, and I already feel like I'm a better player. I'm growing every day in training and in games. I see progression every day, and I believe that in the near future, my best qualities will be unlocked, and I will show everyone who I am. So that's what Yanis has had to say. So it appears from that quote that Hadji wants gone. Yeah, that is what it seems. Yefeko is a ball watcher like Borna, too predictable, says Stuzo, and Bluebells of Blue says Yefeko is far too slow for left wing back, centre left back. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough, buddy. Bobby Finley says, but he plays shite. I think that's a reference to Hadji. So it looks like Hadji wants to remain in Spain past the end of this season. Now, there was quite a lot of Rangers fans that would love to see the boy brought back, which would love to see the lad given the chance to play in this country, and to come and play for Rangers again. Caleb says, cash in on Hadji. Do you think Jers will be able to keep hold of Seema? Janet, that's a good question. It'll cost us, I think, 7 to 10 million. It depends very much how much money we've got. It depends on how much money we make out of the transfer window. I think a lot of it depends on, what the budget from the board is. It depends if we do sell players. I know we're losing players because we're clearing their wages. But, if we are able to sell Hadji, if we are able to, say, sell Ben Davis, if we are able to sell Cyril Dessers, for example, generate some income, I could see us being able to afford the money, but we are going to have to probably sell before we buy there. Son, thank you so much for the £10 super sticker. All goes towards helping run the channel. Thank you so much for that. That's fantastic. I hope so too. RFC 72 says evening all, evening RFC 72. 6 million, Brighton said. Well, I'd take 6 million. It's a big ask, if we can afford it. Video doing the rounds of Hadji coming over, especially to greet Rangers fans at the end of the match in Spain, says different to me. Says Bluebells are blue. I think, that's... We have an option to buy Cortez at the end of the season. How much will he cost? I think it's 3.5 million, John. And yes, we do have an option to buy. In time to sell Hadji. His moment has passed with Rangers. He's begging to stay in Spain, but can't get a game with Alavés. Time to wish him go. Best 5 million. Thank you very much, son. Very kind of you. Depending on how long Yilmaz is going to be out for, left back is a problem position. Borna has been getting worse for a while. If he's picked, hope he smashes it. We all do, mate. We all do. Hadji, Matondo, Davis must be sold. Lawrence will depend on whether Phil sees value in his new contract. Agree, Alan. Agree. 100% agree. He's injured, RFC 72. Sterling is injured. He's got a hamstring injury. So, yeah, we're probably without him as well. Hi, Cabby. What have we got here? Hadji doesn't seem interested in Rangers anymore. Maybe it's just me, but that's the feeling I get. So, look, I know that quote has got to be slightly influenced by the fact that, we've got a situation where he is talking to Spanish media. So you are going to slightly be more praiseworthy of Spanish football. But there is also kind of an element there of being professional, and saying that you're enjoying your time in Spain, you like playing in Spain, but you're a Rangers player. And as such, it'll be up to the club and you to agree on what the best future for you is, blah, 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 blah. But he didn't say that. He's come out and been full of praise for La Liga, wanting to play in La Liga, wanting to be part of La Liga. So the worry for me there is, I think it was made that point there, Bluebells. The worry for me there is that he could have answered that an awful lot different, but he's been full of praise for La Liga. I realistically can't see him coming home from Spain. I really can't. I think he stays there in Spain. Caleb says, can we get a free agent signing? We could. I can't see them doing it, but yes, we could. So yeah, I think that is a possibility, buddy. That is a possibility. Could get 6 months loans. We suppose we could get them on loan again, maybe. He was fine for Dundee if they wanted to use him, and he'll be fine after the break unless I've missed something recently. That's only what I'm going off, the fact that he's not 100%. Yeah, he could play left back, I suppose. But then do we need him in midfield? There's a lot of debate there around the players. What does Philippe Clement see it as? Does Philippe Clement see it as, Borna Barisic is his next choice at left back, which he seems to be? I don't know. It's a one that is up for debate. What's Vardy's contract looking like at the minute? Lol. We don't want Jamie Vardy to cheat. Do you think we get Seema back on loan? No, that's the question. I don't think so, Janet. I think they'll want to sell him. Hadji's probably had enough of being kicked off the park. Correct. I think that's probably why he wants to go out to Spain. I really do. I think he does want to go and play in Spain. I think realistically, the more technical side of the game, the more technical aspect of the game, the pace of the game, probably just suits Hadji that little bit more than Scotland. Yeah. Thank you so much, John. Fantastic £2 super chat says we can replace Hadji with better. We can. I agree. I mean, the thing is, John, and I think everyone, guys out there, you've got Hadji. Hadji's an attacking midfielder. He plays in that 10 role. Who have we got there now? Cantwell. Is Hadji going to take Cantwell out of the team? No. Is Hadji going to play over Lawrence? No. Is Hadji going to play over Diamande? No. So Hadji's a long way down the pecking order. And if you would say, oh, well, let's play Hadji as part of that double pivot in front of the defense. Well, is Hadji better than Lundstrom? No. Is Hadji better than Diamande? No. Is Hadji better than Sterling? No. So, again, is he going to get in the team? So, yeah, I think probably, if he is so determined, let's move him on. Sell Hadji, buy Watson or Miller with that money. That would be a great buy. Lennon Miller. I would love to see Lennon Miller at Rangers. He is a good player, RFC 72. I'd love to see him with a blue shirt on playing for Rangers. Very, very good player. Hopefully use the money for Hadji sale to put it up towards getting Seema signed. Again, a lot of us spending that money in different ways. Sorry, I was on late tonight, but is Ridvan out for a while, do you know? So just to recap, Janet, he has got a thigh injury. We don't know yet if it's a torn thigh muscle or it is a strained thigh muscle. If it is a torn thigh muscle, then he is gone for the season. If it is a strained thigh muscle, he will be back 2 to 3 weeks. But we've got to wait till the evaluation comes in. He hasn't been sent home yet from Turkish duty. He has been withdrawn from the next game. The likelihood is he will be sent back to Auchenhowie for Rangers medical staff to look at. So, yes, it doesn't look great, Janet. Let's just say it that way, shall we? Cortez injury gives us the chip of asking for another year's loan. Use the money on Seema at the end of the season if he recovers well. That's a good point, Alan. We could do that, especially, with Cortez, like you said, missing a lot of football. I like Seema, Silva, and Cortez. Would love all three next season. I do think we'll buy Cortez, maybe get Seema back on loan. Hopefully Silva as well. I'd love Miller, but I think he might end up costing too much from teams in Europe. There could be a bidding war. Sid, how you doing, buddy? Lennon Miller is incredible for it. Lennon Miller is brilliant. Lennon Miller is absolutely fantastic. He really is. He's a quality player, real quality player. Massive overhaul in the summer. I think there will be a fair few moving players on and a fair few moving players going on. The five obviously got players possibly leaving in the summer. John Lundstrom, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. Obviously out of contract as well. Ryan Jack out of contract. There's Balogun's out of contract. Barisic is going to Trabzonspor. Roof is out of contract. There's a lot of players could leave at the end of the season. Stop ripping on Borna, says Sid. Sid, I hate Borna. I think he's useless. Get a check back and bring Lewis Ferguson there, mate. That would cost an absolute arm and a leg, with apparently Juve wanting him. 56, pretty sure. Silva's out of contract next season. They'll want money this summer from him, mate. Good point. We need to win this league, get this money. Agreed. Get into the Champions League, get the Champions League money. No way Rangers could afford Lewis Ferguson. No, we couldn't, Stuart. Absolutely could not. 25 million for who, Son? Who's that for? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of those points. Lennon Miller is an incredible player. I mean, I suppose the danger is if Premier League clubs come in sniffing for him, then obviously it gets into a bidding war. Premier League clubs have a hell of a lot more money than us. I think a lot as well depends who comes out of the Championship this season. Very close. Yeah, I think that's probably right, Lewis. 25 mil. I know Juve were interested in him at one point, weren't they? But yeah, I think a lot depends on who comes out of the Championship as well. It's it's between Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, and Leeds. It's really close between those four. If a couple of those teams comes up, could they be in the market for him? There's a lot of discussion. Obviously, will go on over summer year, but I do agree Lennon Miller would be a brilliant signing. Could Seema play as a 9 in a pinch? Yeah, he could, Ziggs. He started there at the start of the season, if you remember. He was actually played through the middle in one of the pre-season friendlies. Seema could start. You know what? You'd back Seema to score goals, wouldn't you? You really would back him to score goals because he's a good player. He's a great finisher as well. He's the one player that when he goes through on goal, you back him to score. Dessers goes through on goal. No. You're not quite sure. But you do back. I like seeing where he is, to be honest. Yes, I do too, RFC 56. But you could see a situation where if Cortez is fit, Cortez plays left, McCausland plays right, and Seema plays up top. That's a possibility, isn't it? That is a possibility. Realistically, we should be getting rid of McLaughlin, Davis, Balogun, Barisic, Dowell, Hadji, Dessers, Lammers, Wright, Matondo, Jack, Reef, possibly Goldson also. Could be a massive rebuild once again. RFC 72, that's a pretty good list. Let's have a quick look down that list of RFC 72 again. It's McLaughlin. Yeah, he is. I forgot he even played for the club the other day, if I am being honest with you. Davis, yeah, agree. Out of his depth. Balogun, yeah, agree. Getting old. Barisic is gone. Dowell, yeah, never fit. Hadji wants to go. Let him go. We don't want people who... All we want is people who want to be here. And if he doesn't want to be here, fuck off. Dessers, yeah, agree. Lammers, he's going to be sold, yeah. Wright, yeah, not good enough. Matondo, yeah, not good enough. Ryan Jack, agree. 2 injury prone. And Kemar Roof, also 2 injury prone. 100% agree. Absolutely. We need to go over the line for that Champions League money. We do. Thank you very much, Cabby. Yeah, smash the like. It helps the algorithm, everyone who is watching. If we sign Seema, he will be the number 9. That's an interesting shout from Bobby. We've got a comment here from Alan says, we have to monitor Lennon Miller. Are we going to throw him into the first team? No. Do we want him on the books? Yes. At Motherwell, he gets experience and homegrown status. Agree. I'd love Bath. I think he'd cope in the first team, if I'm being honest, Alan. I really do. Me too, RFC. Just another injury crisis, and agreed, Owen. Sid says, I think Sterling can play left back as well. Just get him on the pitch with the midfield being flooded. Agree, Sid. I think he could play there. Whether Clement will, I don't know. I think he's more likely to go with Borna. Seema can score from anywhere. Look at the goals he scored against PSV and Betis. Hope he is back soon. Me too, John. I hope he is back soon. 100%. Janet says, watch the youngsters play for Scotland the other night. They equipped themselves well. Janet, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Cole McKinnon, wasn't it? One of them playing for the Scottish under-21s. 70 people watching, guys. If you can smash that like, and if you've not yet subscribed to our channel, then that would be great. If you could please do so, it would be fantastic if you could obviously subscribe to the channel. So here we go, guys. What is the what is the next steps in terms of players for next season? That is the big question, isn't it? What is happening with next season? So let's have a little look, shall we? Now, John Lundstrom, what is happening with John Lundstrom? That's a massive question for me. What is happening with him? Where is he going to go? What is going to happen with him? And, what is going to happen with his deal? Realistically, we need to get him signed down and tied down to a new contract. That is an absolute must for me. It really genuinely is. He's a good player, a very, very fine player. So for me, we do need to get him tied down to a new deal. Where that deal's up to, though, is always a worry. It is a big worry for me. Where are we up to with that deal? What's going to happen with that deal? Now, there's been rumours that the deal has stalled. That's the rumour that is going around. The rumour is that he's waiting to see if there's any Premier League interest in him. That apparently is one of the rumours that is going around. If there is, then you know what, they can probably offer him more money. So if they can offer him more money, let him go. Because you know what, as I said, anyone who doesn't want, Lunny's been brilliant. Lunny was brilliant. But if he wants more wages than we're willing to pay, if he, wants to go elsewhere, let him go. Bye-bye. See you later. Au revoir. Goodbye. Anyone who doesn't want to stay and play for this club can go, as far as I'm concerned. It really genuinely can. We got in the live chat now. We don't know if Seema and Danilo will come back from fitness, and some same players, they might be injury prone players. That's a great shout, Stuart. We don't know what the situation is. You never know what the situation is. Any player that gets injured, there's always a worry, isn't there, that they could come back and not be the same player, not have the same confidence in that injury that it's going to stay there and they could suffer as a result. Yeah, great question. Was Lunny not looking to double his wage? I don't know what the situation is with Lunny's wages. Apparently he's on 20 grand a week at this moment in time, buddy. But what is happening with his wages, who knows? Never mind this next season, next bloody week, says Sid. Absolutely. Borna is scared when he plays them a lot. Hopefully he plays well and stops being back past Borna, says Crib. The wages are a problem. He wants more than what we've offered, apparently, since RFC 72, which that's what I've heard. He wants Premier League wages. You know, like I said, if Premier League team comes in from him, then at the end of the day, let's have a look at that one. Jack covered more than Lunny. Was paid less than half of Lunny. Absolutely, Bobby. I wouldn't give Lunny more wages. I'd give him less because of his age. Agreed. Yeah, I don't think we give him more than 20 grand. If he wants 20 grand or more than 20 grand, we say no, thank you, goodbye. That's the way it's got to be. No player bigger than Rangers. They can always be replaced. Agreed, Janet. Absolutely, 100% agreed on that one. Needs to remember who he's playing for. Brilliant comment there. Fantastic. Diamande over Lunny for me, says Sid. What else have we got here? He might not even play as much next season. You never know. RFC 50. It depends, obviously, who we bring in, doesn't it? Absolutely. 100%. Remember when Moles got injured, he never recovered. True. Like I said, players don't come back the same player from injury a lot of the time. It depends on how bad the injury was. It depends on, how well that injury's healed. Some injuries you never ever get over, and it's always in the back of your mind. So yeah, absolutely. Lundstrom stays. He worries about the money. Let him go to Arabia. Agreed to Alan. We've Raskin ready to step up for Lunny anyway. A good preseason for Raskin. He'll be back to his best. Let's hope so. We need him to get back to his best. RFC 72. That is agreed 100%. Lunny wants too much. Say thanks for your service and bye. Right on, Owen. Absolutely 100%. If win the league, big overhaul. Absolutely, we still need that overhaul. I think even if we win all 3 trophies, we still need to get that money in. Won't get a better club than us. Agreed, RFC 72. Too many of our players are receiving big wages, including Goldson, who doesn't merit it, says John. There is a lot of people there sat on a lot of wages, and the problem is a lot of the time there's a lot of wages sat in the stand as well. So that's something we've got to obviously get over. Agreed, Sid. Diamande before Lunny, talented young boy with potential. He is a very talented young boy with a lot of potential. Guys, 66 watching, please smash that like and sub if you've not yet done so to the channel. 100%. Stephen says in the live chat, start with the defense for the rebuild, get rid of them all but keep Ridvan and Suter. That's a good shout, Stephen. Yeah, that's where you build teams from, isn't it? You build from the back. You look at all the top teams of the past. You build from the back. You build your squad up from the back. And that, for me, is what we should be doing. I agree 100%. And yeah, Ridvan and Suter, for me, are stays. Possible, Sid. It's a possible Gerard may come sniffing for some of his 55 players. He could well do, buddy. He could well do. Well, guys, you know what? It's the international break. We are obviously building up. We're going to be building up, obviously, next week to the game against Hibernian on Saturday. It is live here on the channel on Saturday, so come and join us for that. Question from RFC 72. If the Saudi rumours are true, how much would you be willing to sell for? 10 mil, RFC 72. Give me 10 mil, you can have him. 10 million pounds. Think about what we could do with 10 million pounds. That's a couple of players for us. So 10 mil. Do you think Rangers will be able to turn down possibly 15 to 20 million for Butland? No, I don't, Stuart. I'm sorry to say I don't think there'll be. If a Premier League team comes in and says, there's 20 million pounds for Jack Butland, if he says I want to go, they take it. They can't not. You know what? They've brought in the player trading model. This lad came in for nothing. If they can flip him for 20 million, they'll flip him for 20 million. I don't think he should be allowed to leave. I think he should be allowed to stay. Hopefully Jack does want to stay. But who knows? Who knows what Jack's aspirations are? You know, and obviously with him missing out on the England squad, that has kind of, I think, gone against us a little bit. Tav, his age is catching up with him. Agreed. I'm saying 15 to 20 million, absolute minimum, says RFC 72. Absolutely. What else have we got? Win League, sell to Saudi. We're in business, says Sid. Agree, Owen. I'd take 10 million for Tav. Yeah, absolutely. 10 million. The Saudis would pay 10 million. They're daft with their money. They are daft with their money. But no, Butland, yeah, 15 to 20 million minimum. The problem is we're not going to get, realistically, if Rangers were playing in the English Premier League and Jack Butland was performing as he is for Rangers, for Rangers in the EPL, you would get 30 to 35 million for him. Easy. Easy money. Easy money. Okay. But the issue is, unfortunately, there is, you know, a natural level that they won't go above buying from Scotland. So 15 to 20 million is probably your highest level for him. 25 to 35, says Kenneth Elliott. I don't think we'd get that. That's the issue. He's 32 in less than a year. Stephen, if the money was right, I'd be willing to let Tav go. Contributes too much to the team. Yeah, agreed. And he does contribute a lot, but if £10 million for a 32, 33-year-old, that's a lot of money to turn down. It really, really is. We got a guy for now with Jack. We'll try and find another and spread the money through the pitch. Agreed on that one. If we get over 12 million for Butland, the board will accept it, says James. I'm hoping not, mate. I'm hoping it's 15 to 20 before they even consider it. For me, 12 million is massively undervaluing Jack Butland. It really is. 100% agreed on that one. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for tonight. Thank you for coming on the Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast. Obviously, keep your heads up, keep your ears to the ground. We will be listening, although you can't keep your heads up and your ears down. I don't know how that one works. That's just ridiculous, Owen. We will be trying to plan some podcasts for next week, myself and Laura and Damien, hopefully, as well. Guys, whilst I've got you all here, that's something I want to talk to you about. Now, you all know Damien Hendry, who comes regularly on to this channel. And, he's brilliant. He's a Rangers man through and through. He loves Rangers. He's a huge Rangers fan. And, he is he's a top guy. He really is a top guy. So, guys, what I'd love you to do for me, please, is if you've got Spotify, if you've got Apple Music, if you've got Amazon Music, whatever you've got, guys, whatever electronic platform you have got, then what I'd love you to do, guys, is go over to those electronic platforms and check out Damien and his new album, guys. He's got a new album out. It's called A Chance to Dream. There it is there. It is a brilliant album, a fantastic album. It's just 23 minutes long, but he has got 7 fabulous songs on there. I would love it, guys, if you went over and checked out A Chance to Dream by Sleep Image on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Amazon, wherever you get your music from. Check it out, guys. It's Damien Hendry. He's a Rangers man through and through. Please check it out for me. Right, so a quick flick through your comments before we head off. Where are we up to? Oh, my God. Got to agree with that. So we've had that comment, haven't we? Let's just take it on. 15, 20 million absolute minimum. Where are we going to? We've had these comments. Let's quickly try and flick through some last comments before we head off into the sunlight. Stephen, if the money was right, I'd be selling, letting Tav go. Yeah, absolutely. We've had those comments, guys. I've lost track of where I was. Here we go. Let's take it from this one. 56. I'm only saying over the top money because it's Saudi. They're willing to chuck that around willingly. Agreed, mate. They chuck silly money around. If Butland had been performing the way he was in the EPL, no doubt he would have been in the England squad. Agreed, John. There is a snobbery in terms of Scottish football. Wrongly. You would want between 15 and 20 million for Butland. Agreed, Janet. 100% agreed. Andy Smith says, well said, Cabby. Thank you, Cabby, for whatever you said. To me, Tav, Goldson now, Borna have cost us too many goals. I mean, the defence is good this year, but I do think Jack Butland's had a massive part to play in that this year, and his confidence that he gives it there, absolutely. Even chucking around for Goldson also, I'd take 8 million for him. Yeah, if the Saudis came in for him, even better, buddy, even better. 100% even better. We've got a bit more money here, a bit more comment here, sorry. Thanks for the famous fix. No worries, son, absolutely. Good night, Bears. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Agree. Do we cash in on goals? And hopefully, what we want for a player, what we get is the issue. Agree, James. What you want and what you actually get are 2 different things. The Sleeping Giants, my middle finger, brilliant troops. Mate, there's no getting any younger as long as we bring in better. And Carl, yeah, mate, he's on the decline now. So, yeah, absolutely, guys. Please, obviously, like I said, check out Damien's album on Sleep Image. That's his band. Check out his new album. Or A Chance to Dream on Spotify, Amazon, and of course on any other good music platform. Well, thank you for watching the Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast, guys. Please, obviously, smash the sub if you've not yet subbed to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to have you here with me tonight. And as always, 2 things I always ask of you on the way out. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, please never forget, we are the people.